Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
And two idiots join the Inquisition. Dark Heresy! Welcome back to another episode of Dark Heresy. As the Imperial Scribe of this vessel, I am thrilled to be documenting the many adventures of Andrew Dickinger, Shepard Tooms, and their Servo Skull companion, Daniel Fernandez. When you last left them, our boys had made their way into the shadows, the mines beneath the castle. It wasn't long before they found themselves in a close encounter with the local mutants and members of the Broken Chains. They attacked our heroes, but thanks to some brutal shots and soft hands, they made it out alive. And before more danger could surface, they were greeted by an old friend. Have our boys finally found sanctuary, or is this battle just beginning? Let's find out.
All right, Daniel, gotten most of the gunk as far as I can. I mean...
And a few more fingers than we thought. We thought it was one, couple more in there.
Teeth in
Just
there.
pretty gross. But you look great now.
Thanks. I think the mustache is really bringing it all together.
I mean, I'm really digging the mustache.
I'm
I
gonna
think
say,
it really works.
all of the mutants here are looking at me, though that might just be because I'm a floating skull and we're outsiders.
Well, you know what? You wear it pretty well. I think you should keep it. You know what? This mustache is yours, Daniel.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I feel very dignified. It's all silvery.
So,
Yes.
so where are we?
Well, I mean, I couldn't even describe it. I guess I could. It's weird. We're in these dark caves. There's like glowing fungus on the ceiling and like small wooden buildings that are put together in this cave.
Yes, it's quite, I don't want to say comfortable. It's...
Cozy?
It's a place with lights.
It's habitable.
Yes, habitable. There we go.
That's one way to describe where we live.
Oh, David, hello. Thank you, by the way, for taking us into your homestead area.
Yes, this is one of the few places where our people have not been killed by the chains.
I'm a bit confused, and maybe catch us up a little bit. So, there's the Broken Chains, which is obviously a mutant faction rising up.
It wasn't...
You okay, David?
David, you all right?
No, I'm not. But that's neither here nor there.
You're squinting in most of your eyes. Would you like something?
No, I don't know if I could. I've gotta...
Can I attempt Medicaid on him?
That would be like a first aid. He doesn't need first aid. He needs extensive care. You know what I mean?
Are we going to be in this room for 24 hours?
Are you just looking through your syringes? Like, what else can I just shove into somebody? Here we go.
The Broken Chains, if you remember, it was founded by the Baroness back when she lived on the planet, and it was made up of humans and mutants put together to work together to make the planet better. But
I mean, I remember I was there.
I know. Well, he wasn't. I'm trying to make sure he knows.
Oh, well, I mean, he's read most of the briefing, so... Like,
I skimmed through some of it, but I do enjoy a little bit of a recap.
You liar. You said you read all the briefings.
I read all the important things, like where the open windows, where the open doors, where the dark corners, the important things for a mission.
That wasn't even, described in the mission report.
I know. I had to dig in a little bit, get a couple extra pictures, added my own.
Anyways...
See this picture? This is a picture of me, hiding in a corner, about to shoot someone.
Shiak reshaped it. He made it all about... He made it mutants only and bent on destruction. Also, the Broken Chains, we revered the Emperor, or at least we used to, but now, ever since Shiak took over, well, then Shiak died, and...
Who killed Shiak?
The Baroness did. Well, he was there.
Yeah, the Baroness definitely shot him in the face.
Oh. Okay.
That was like the grand showdown on this. We had a whole conversation about this.
I'm sorry, I really didn't go through any of that. But so it sounds like you got a...
This was the whole, you know, she was not dead, but we said she was dead thing.
Right.
Shiak was like her rival and
That's
was trying to lead an
right.
uprising to kill everybody that wasn't mutants.
Then the Baroness came here and was reforming the broken chains under, you know, her new leadership. But about a month ago, she changed. I don't know what it was. She started saying that the old society couldn't exist the way it was, that it needed to be torn down. And that doesn't seem right, because I know that she was having peaceful meetings with the Queen and was looking at maybe even taking over when the Queen died. But I guess I felt a presence. It felt like it was getting worse about a month ago, but then ever since the Queen died, the Baroness has been out of control. She's been readying the mutants. There was a faction that wanted to tear things down, but now she led all of her broken chains. She started killing anybody who didn't support the
David. Did she have a shiny jewel anywhere around her? Like, did she suddenly get a shiny jewel that she was wearing that you saw?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you talking about some sort of, like, possession or something like that?
I mean, yeah, we don't need to talk about it too deeply, but yeah, specifically possession from an object.
Oh, I've killed possessed people before. It's very tricky. Sometimes they get extra heads and things like that, and you have to shoot those as well. But yeah, I mean, it happens for sure.
But you're saying it sounds like she was possessed.
Maybe she's been talking about Gozer.
Oh.
Is that like some sort of leader or some sort of like former king or something like?
You didn't read any of the documents, did you?
Listen, I spent most of my time drawing these cute pictures. Look, it's me shooting someone.
Hey, it's come clean time. You didn't read them at all, did you?
No.
As I suspected.
So,
Gozer is a god. A chaos god.
A chaos god?
Of architecture.
What?
Yeah.
What do you mean, a chaos god of architecture?
Exactly as the words describe it.
I guess it does describe it's pretty much on the nose. So you're telling me he is powered by the engine of Gothic architecture?
Yes, Gothic everything is fueling.
Oh god,
Gozer.
there's so much of
and
it.
he's or it, I don't even know gender. Does that even matter? He's fueled by architecture, and he's a contradiction in the warp, and he's gaining a lot of power.
You're telling me there's a unknown, maybe rogue chaos god out there?
Well, Atris knew about him.
Yeah, Atris knew about it.
And we know Atris is not a really good fellow. Is there...
I don't know. I thought he was okay.
What? Wait a second. There were a few things I did skim, not necessarily on this mission.
No, look. Atris isn't, like, great, but I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of Atris hate going on these days.
We're going to have a talk after this.
Okay, it's fine.
From what Tomoa shared with me, that he was not a very stand-up fellow.
No, he's the opposite of that.
Oh, okay. I mean, I think what it's doing is...
Daniel, he tried to have us killed.
I mean, not me. Look, we trust each other though, so that doesn't matter. I
feel like I'm getting in between something. Did something happen between the two of you?
Oh god, it's a lot more complicated than that.
Anyway, it's all going down. I know the scourges are coming in, but they know that the scourges are coming. They know exactly where the scourges are coming in. I think they have somebody on the inside.
Yeah, we found that out.
Yes.
From one of the...
Serrano is gonna die. All of his men are going to die.
Is there a way you could get us to the presence of Collins so that we can talk to her?
Maybe?
Well, hold on. Do we really want to talk to her? I mean, I don't know. You didn't really wink. Do you mean talk to her like wink, wink, like with a gun? Or do you mean like... If she's being possessed or commanded by some chaos god, I don't know what we're really gonna do.
I mean, no.
I think she's in the temple in the heart of the village.
There's a temple?
They've been starting to assemble it.
Is it made of junk?
Yes.
It's happening all over again.
What do you mean?
We don't need to get into that. We don't need to get into that.
All right.
We need to stop this now. It's gone too far. It's already too far.
All of the mutants who weren't willing to, who disagreed with Collins, they've been killed or we fled. I think we're the only ones left. They might have been hiding in other secret places. I don't know. There's probably a lot of other ones who are just sort of quietly going along with it because they're afraid of Collins and her extremist broken chains. I don't know. She's a great speaker, you know. She's getting everybody riled up. They think it's time for change, and they're ready for change.
Yes, I'm sure she's great at gaslighting. Listen, we can probably maybe navigate some of these secret passages that maybe these other hiding mutants are using.
Yeah, I suppose we could probably get you into the temple, but we've been trying not to go there. It seems too dangerous.
Well, I mean, I feel... It's no offense to you, David, but I feel like we have no choice at this point. That the last thing this planet needs is open civil war between humans and mutants.
Yes, that is true.
Also, probably not a leader who is being puppeted by a chaos god. Just putting that out there.
It doesn't make sense. This isn't what Collins should be doing, but also, Collins was trying to keep things peaceful. Now she's trying to cause chaos. Also, apparently now she knows everything that the Scourges are doing, and that doesn't make sense because we didn't have any spies in there.
I mean, do you think it's possible? I'm not as familiar with these chaos beings as maybe you are. Could they give you some sort of like clairvoyance or some sort of extra knowledge of the world around you that you can't gain yourselves? I mean, is there something else going on here?
There definitely could be. They may have reached out to me before.
Oh, well, I don't take this the wrong way. It seems like you've been...
I noticed that Tooms is, like, subtly, like, making a gesture like the gun's coming out of his hand.
You've clearly had a lot of interaction with this god, and not to say that he's, or she's, or whatever it is very dangerous. It's just, you seem a little on edge, and may not be looking at this clearly, is all I'm saying. So, maybe we gather a little bit more intel from a distance before we either speak to Collins or, unfortunately, have to dispatch her.
Well, we could get you into the temple, but probably only once. If they see you, they'll probably seal off the passage to the temple. But we could get you in there. I'd stand by your side, and I think many of us would as well. But there's so many of them.
Is there...
I mean, the armies are massing outside the temple, so maybe there won't be so many in the temple, but I don't know.
I'm curious, just while we're talking about Collins and what has happened recently, has anyone new entered this temple area? Has there been any change in either the leadership structure or like, look, we were digging in a cavern the other day and unearthed these beautiful green orbs with skulls in them. Just curious.
We have been spreading the word to all the mutants across the planet to come here. There's so much space here for them to live, and they've all been flocking to Collins, but that means that we've been getting lots of new mutants coming into the area lately. So
some of them could have brought something in.
They could have. I mean, I think maybe they just brought radical ideas, but maybe they brought something physical in.
If Gozer is being mentioned, then something else has to be going on.
Many of them are followers of Gozer who were coming in. They remains of Shiak's chains.
Oh.
So this Shiak fellow was also involved with Gozer.
I mean, at least Shiak's dead, though. Well, I mean, I guess he died once before, but he seemed to be, like, super-duper dead last time.
Yes, he was
That's a good qualifier. Was he super-duper dead?
I mean, like, incineration. I don't know how... Maybe...
That's pretty dead, yes. I mean, I guess there could have still been some followers remaining, it sounds like.
Similar to the guy in the corridor like you did the second ago. Like, that much.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he, with the head off, running around on fire?
Yeah, it's like that.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean,
also
he
was yelling to a chaos god saying, please, no, don't consume me.
Yes.
Oh. This footage sounds pretty cool. I'll have to go back and check it out.
You probably should have, brushed up before you knew what you were getting into.
I mean, especially if there's some really cool incineration in there. I always appreciate a good kill, as long as it's not too gross. But incineration, pretty good.
Blood rain. Blood rain.
I don't think blood rained that time.
No, it rained another. I'm saying if he didn't watch any of them, then he missed the blood rain.
Whoa, there was blood rain?
Blood rain.
Wait, you were expecting him to catch up on everything you ever did?
I mean, that's what I do.
Oh, okay.
I mean, first off, I would normally say that's crazy, but what? You've been around blood rain? What the hell kind of missions have you been going on?
On a mountaintop after a castle siege.
Jesus. We don't have time for this, but I really gotta catch up on that. But,
Do you
Curie.
remember Scoops?
Scoop. The poor Scoops.
Anyway, these are great. I'd love to hear more of these adventures, I guess, whatever. But we, our people, are willing to work with you. Speak for yourself, David. I don't know these guys. I don't trust humans. I don't trust these new mutants, but I don't trust these guys either. All right, Charles. No.
Charles,
These
listen.
guys. These guys can be trusted.
We don't have a lot of options, Charles.
They're friends of the Baroness. Yeah, that's the problem. That's not the Baroness. It can't be.
Charles. Let's be clear here. Like, yeah, we helped her out the first time. Not we, but me.
Yes, I've actually never met her, and I'm totally fine to shoot her in the face.
Me, Daniel, and somebody else helped her out the first time because it was the right thing to do, and got rid of Shiak, which was
Yeah.
the right thing to do.
By the way, David, now that you're getting... David is sort of looking over at this guy who... David's sort of a squat, IE sort of dude. This guy is... he is gigantic, this Charles. He is sort of a hulking abomination, if you will. He's got sort of a very deep voice, but he is huge and just, like, covered in muscles.
Charles, get out of my head, Charles.
Oh, didn't almost notice you over there being gigantic and everything. Charles, clearly you hit the gym quite frequently and seem to be always ready for battle. And I
gotta
appreciate...
make gains.
I mean, yes, absolutely. Your legs, incredible. Do not skip the leg day, as they say.
Yeah.
Charles, we need someone of your immense muscle and skill if we're going to make this work, and I would really like you on our side, Charles.
Make what work?
Well, Charles, why did you join this group to begin with?
Because if I didn't, I would die.
Fair enough, Charles. What kind of predicament do you feel you're in now? Do you feel like you're in a less death scenario or more death?
The chains will probably try to come for me. I was planning on fleeing during the chaos of the battle in the morning.
Now, Charles, obviously you've spent a lot of time getting those sweet, sweet gains. Do you think those gains were for running or for punching, Charles?
You're going to need to, if you're trying to inspire this mutant and therefore the other mutants, you're going to need to make some sort of check.
Here we go.
Yeah, it'll be an ordinary charm check, so plus 10.
Oh, sweet.
You're respected by David, and while Charles isn't crazy about David, he does sort of listen to David.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God, that's a 3.
Okay. So
I nailed it.
Finally, you did something right.
Yes.
these mutants will, you give a speech.
I give that speech.
You could give a snippet of the speech.
I stand up and say, and you know you want to use your sweet gains, and your sweet gains, and your weird arm, and your shadowy powers.
These guys will all die for you now. They're all willing to fight for you. There's about 40 mutants in this little, I don't want to say resistance cell because that makes it sound too organized, but these survivors who don't want war with the humans.
Refugees.
Yeah, sure. Rebels? I don't know what you want to call them.
I like rebels.
Rebel refugees.
Rebel refugees, yeah.
You know what they say? An assassin's greatest tool is the loyalty of his men. That's not a thing they say. Now, it seems that everyone certainly would like to get their punching on and reclaiming this crazy group. So, I think we should work out a plan of sorts.
Well, I think the objective is clear. We either save Collins, or we save Collins. Wink.
Oh, I got you. The wink means murder. Now we're on the same page. Now listen.
I don't know why you keep saying that there's a way to save her. We're going to have to kill her. She's a problem.
I mean, there may be a way to reverse what's happened.
And to be fair, the other thing we're trying to secure here between the three of us, Andrew and Daniel, remember, we're trying to secure someone to take over for the throne and potentially be a kind of inside person for us. And worst case scenario, we need someone who can get into Atris's fortress.
I'm gonna be real clear here. If there's chaos corruption of any type involved, I'm not comfortable with putting her in power.
I agree, but I'm just saying if there's a way to potentially salvage this situation, we would have an ally, kind of like a double ally. It sounds like if you've saved her before, someone we could rely on to get us into Atris's fortress, as well as a powerful ally for the Inquisition here on this planet.
We could definitely probably use this as a bargaining chip.
Second scenario, we shoot her in the head, take a piece of her head, and then we can get into Atris's
I think we
fortress.
need the whole head.
Oh, right.
We need
whole
the whole
head.
We need the whole head.
Whole head.
Or 51% of the body. Head excluded.
Feels like a lot easier transport in that scenario.
yes.
But yeah, I mean, I guess it can eventually be a win-win for us, where either we don't kill her and we still get clout and the ability to get into the fortress, or we do kill her and we get clout and the ability to get into the fortress.
Yeah, so I guess either way we do win in that scenario. Fair enough.
Well, I think then we should do I think there's an easy plan then.
What is it?
David, there's just one entrance to the temple.
I mean, there's one secret entrance to the temple that we can get you into.
But I'm saying there's one main entrance to the temple.
There's also one main entrance into the temple. It's not the same one.
I think the plan is clear. Just
What?
get us through the secret entrance to the temple, then all the mutants stave off the main entrance to the temple, which it's much easier to defend if they're only defending the one entrance, and then we deal with Collins.
So you mean when they're coming under attack, use it as a distraction to sneak in through the secret entrance while they're distracted?
No.
I mean, but what about that, though? I mean, that could work, too. I mean, it's kind of combining both, right?
I mean, it's like 40 of them versus thousands. I feel like that'd be over in 2 seconds.
To be fair, it's not thousands. There's like 800, so not multiple thousands.
I mean, that mutant that we were speaking to earlier, I'm pretty sure was a little bit high on his own supply, as they say.
800 is still a lot.
Oh no, they'll totally overwhelm the Scourges. Also, they have traps set up for the Scourges.
Which is, I mean, I don't know the Scourges personally. I don't really have any personal investment in them. So.
Okay, I was confused. I understand what you're saying now. Wait for that battle to commence and then take over the temple.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were hoping to work with Riendo, but she hasn't been in contact with us.
And here's the thing. We kind of liked Riendo, right? I mean, sort of. We met her for about a few seconds. She's probably sick, so she won't be in that fight. Remember, she's still recovering.
Well, now that you mention it, do we want to double back before the attack happens and go warn them?
I mean, I don't really care about any of them, but I mean, if there's someone in there we'd like to warn.
I mean, the Scourges do suck, right? They do want to kill every single mutant on the planet.
That's true.
But then
I did
they
kind of like her, though.
And I do really like David here, and Charles, and the rest of you are growing on me.
Because from what I remember, the Scourges are coming down, and they're going to be led by Woke and Serrano. They're both going to be there.
Oh, wait a second. We're not big fans of Woke. You remember him.
Yeah, Woke's a piece of shit.
So, I mean, I'm not really saying we're going to lose much if Woke, seems to get lost in the shuffle of this battle.
That's what I'm saying. We could warn Serrano and not Woke and have her be
Who's Serrano again?
Serrano's the leader of the Scourges. Remember, we fought with him, and then somebody somebody did very well at scaring him off, and then he didn't fight when the Baroness revealed herself.
You know what? I think they can die.
All right, fair enough. Seems like we're all on the same page. And I guess, technically, if we do have to dispatch Baroness Collins, Riendo, who will have been saved by not being in this battle and saved by you, we could potentially have a strong ally there once all the dust settles.
We just hope that she doesn't,
I just don't even know what the trap is. They keep talking about a trap. I don't know what it is.
Do we not have any sort of intel of what they plan for the Scourges?
Collins has been saying that Gozer would provide it.
That's the bad sign.
So some sort of chaos-like trap. I mean, you've encountered Gozer before. Does he use any sort of specific tactics or anything we could draw upon to surmise what it is?
Well, the only thing we've ever seen Gozer do was summon a bunch of rombies.
Rombies, yeah.
What is a rombie?
Sort of like statue people zombie.
Oh.
It's a combination of rock and zombie.
Oh, that's pretty obvious when you point it out. Yes, Rombi. Okay, well, that seems pretty unfortunate. I mean, that's an undead rock monster. That sounds pretty hard to kill.
Yeah, there were lots of them. It was very survival.
They actually went down relatively... They go down easier than you might think, but then they get back up is the issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, you guys had quite a crazy time here, didn't you? Listen, so we've got potential Rombis going on, and we're not entirely sure if there's anything else going on with this trap. What we could try to do is maybe separate one of the mutants from the herd, as they say, and question the old boy.
Is there any patrols, David, that go on the outliers that would have more information about what the trap would be?
Maybe. I don't know if they're in the... I don't know if they'd be in the know, as it were.
Would the ones that are in the know be in the temple?
Yes.
So probably keep the closest ones. So I don't know if we're necessarily going to get an opportunity to find out what this trap is. Again, we're not affected by the trap, at least hopefully, unless the trap is like bees or something, just so many bees.
Well, I think then the only... I don't know if I like this, but we might have to strike... You know what?
I mean, we could send a message to the castle if we need to. I'm not saying that we need to, but we could.
We could send the message just to Riendo and then have her decide how to disseminate the knowledge.
Because Serrano is still bringing his men in.
We don't know shit about Riendo. We talked to her for, what, a minute?
But I guess she really cool, is all I'm trying to say.
I guess she does. I mean, she seemed like a warrior. Do you just like her because she's a fighting lady?
Yes, I mean, she's probably assassinated quite a few enemies.
I mean, she seemed... It's more like best out of the three, I'd say.
I mean, she is... She had sent envoys down here, and she wanted to work with... She had talked to... Well, she didn't know about the Baroness, but, she had talked to some of the less radical Broken Chains and was trying to get our help to fight the radicals.
See, Daniel?
Just super cool.
I don't know. It seems crazy to...
Daniel, you're acting real strange. What's going on, man?
Listen, Daniel, I haven't been a sort of investigative person for very long, but as you've seen over the, time we've spent together, jumping to these immediate conclusions has really served us well in this investigation, and I think if you just go with it, I think it'll all work out in our favor.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's the plan, then? Do we wait for the morning when the Scourges will attack, and then we infiltrate the temple?
Maybe we should just send a message to Riendo, fortify the castle, don't go into the tunnels. And that's it.
Here's my problem with this. Let's say a whole bunch of people do and will die when they attack down here. The first question will probably be, why did you think that we should protect the castle?
Oh, you mean like we were the ones?
Or that we just didn't notify them that they were about to get super killed by a whole bunch of mutants.
All right,
it makes our partnership very difficult.
We are the Inquisition. Fuck this shit. Let's just go deal with Collins and let them sort out their problems.
Okay, yes, but still tactics. I think we wait for the fight to start, and then we sneak in there.
Yeah, I think that's clear. We wait for the fight to start, and then we sneak into the temple, and then we have the mutants hold the front of the temple so the other mutants can't get in, and we deal with Collins.
We can send probably one letter. Your communications won't work down here. It's too much radiation, but we could send one letter like we did before, but you'd have to tell me what the letter is.
Now I feel bad that this nice person that we've immediately jumped to the conclusion that she is could potentially get killed in this attack.
I mean, we could just then say, don't go into tunnels, possible trap will let you know further.
You know what? What I'm thinking here, we don't know what the trap is, so we can't possibly really warn them. I think we could still let them know that there's danger down here and to come well armed and potentially hold back her troops.
That's what I'm saying. Say potential trap, meaning that it's not us trying to trap her.
I mean,
just heard word of a trap.
Best case scenario, they both wipe each other out if they're well informed. Worst case scenario, they are not informed well enough and the Broken Chain overtake them and potentially kill our friend who could be sitting on the throne here. So I think by letting them know actually gives us a bit more of an advantage and could make the battle a bit more disruptive.
That was my point, yeah.
Yes, my plan clearly is going to work perfectly. So let's do this thing.
All right. Then I guess we'll lead you into the tunnels, and we'll have all of our people back you up.
Yeah, and send a message to Riendo to tell her that there's a potential trap and to just be at the ready.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to wait, I guess, but we can. I guess we'll go into the tunnels. Look, I'll lead you into the tunnels. We'll handle this.
All right, Charles, you do it.
All right. Charles actually, he does this weird thing where, he sort of cricks his neck a little bit, and then he immediately gets a lot smaller. He has some sort of, he maybe doesn't have big gains. He maybe could manipulate his size a little bit, is more of what's going on here.
But his arms might have shrunk, but those legs are still...
I mean, his legs are still good.
Those legs are tight.
They're smaller, he just got smaller, proportionally, but, his legs are still, really, really,
Ripped.
Yeah.
Gotta be lugging all that ore and shit. So I'm getting some kind of weird blip with your info, Daniel. I think we need to do some rad scrubbing, some radiation scrubbing.
Well, that makes sense. We got some time to kill anyway.
All right, gonna shut you down while we do this so it doesn't mess up your core processes.
Okay, cool.
All right, so Daniel, turned you back on. It sounds like the battle has begun.
All right, let's get going here. I think they were talking to me. Okay, whatever.
Well, David too.
Yeah, okay.
He's part of the
We were
group.
talking to everyone.
All right, so we're gonna lift up this sort of hatch here, and we'll emerge right outside the temple. And then there's one back wall that we should be able to get through. Once we go through there, though, they'll probably know it's able to go through. So we'll be able to maybe get out there. Whatever. Let's see what happens.
Let's just go.
Yes, let's just run out there.
So you lift the hatch, and you see it's actually a huge cavern with a bunch of small structures spread out there. It looks like a small city even that has been made up of all of the mutants that are living down here. It looks like they've been expanding out, like they've been actually doing some digging and making this place bigger and bigger. And also, besides just looking at the cave itself, which is actually pretty cool, there's like a glowing fungus that makes it so everything is illuminated in here. It's dim, but things are illuminated.
Pretty nice.
There's also what looks like a Gothic cathedral made out of trash.
Is that giant cathedral probably the thing they were building?
Yeah.
You going to be all right?
Flashbacks.
Oh boy.
Vomit and liquefying people. Oh god.
Wait, what?
Let's go.
All right, let's get inside. Okay, we're probably going to need to be very stealthy to get in there and not get noticed.
Don't worry, this is my area of expertise.
Don't fuck this up.
I'm not going to.
Don't
worry.
fuck this up.
I had a little bit of a malfunction with the suit earlier, but I've got this. So I'm going to try to stealth this bad boy. Oh yeah, that's a 12.
Thank God.
Okay. So you're leading the way, like you're just, giving commando signals and
basically,
stuff.
can I with such a high, my
It's very
success is
dun, dun,
crazy.
dun,
That's
dun,
that's
dun.
actually, that's 5 degrees of success.
Yes,
that I do so well that I can kind of navigate the group.
Yes, the whole group is able to get into the temple. And as you go inside, it looks, again, like a Gothic cathedral. Like, as you go inside, there's a bunch of pews. There's what sort of look like stained glass windows made of, glass, but not like stained glass, but just, colored glass from, various things, plastics and whatnot. But there's sort of though actually the light glowing through them seems to be light not just coming from the fungus. There seems to be some sort of other light glowing through them. And you get inside, and it's eerily quiet and sort of empty, really, except there is a chanting that is happening. Everything else, the sounds of battle are muffled. Because, the battle's already going on.
Is it, unnaturally muffled?
Unnaturally muffled, yes.
We're oh, that cut out quite a bit.
With the light coming through the window and the fact that the sound got cut out so much, this may be not entirely embedded in reality.
That seems likely, yes. The other mutants are we'll go to the door. We'll leave her to you. And you see standing at an altar that has 5 buttresses on it, which again doesn't even make sense why an altar has buttresses. It doesn't even seem like it should work.
My goodness, that's so many buttresses, so unnecessary.
There is, you recognize her, Baroness Collins, and she has a hammer and chisel in her hand, and she's standing over a body that's tied on the altar. You can't make out the body. It's in a robe of some sort.
Oh.
What do you do?
Well, this is awfully interesting.
You rolled so well that you have not been noticed yet. So,
I think by the time the mutants have reached the door,
yeah.
then I kind of just want to yell out at her.
Before you yell, we have the element of surprise here. I think we should maybe gather a little bit more intel on our target before we either assassinate or speak to. For example, do we know of anyone who was kidnapped? Because from looking from where I am, does it look like the person in the robe is like a mutant? Do I see like a third arm? Or
No, nothing obvious. Make a check to see, because, yeah.
Hold on. Maybe it looks humanoid, like it could be Baroness Collins.
Oh, that's a pass. I got exactly a 41.
Okay.
It's just a straight perception
Yeah,
check?
just straight perception.
Okay, well, I needed a 36 and I got a 20. So
Cool. All right. Looking at the body tied to the altar, it seems to be struggling. You actually hear a little bit of a muffled sound coming from it. It must be, whoever it is must be gagged. And you can tell that if it's a mutant, it's not particularly mutated, and it appears to be... How many degrees of success did you get?
just
you got one?
One full degree of success.
Okay. They appear to be female, tied up on the altar. Yeah.
All right.
I'm getting the sense that that's Collins and that's not Collins.
Whoa. What are you saying? You're telling me that there are two Collins up there?
I think, well, I mean, we have mutants that change shape and shit. Maybe there's a mutant that's actually taking the place of Collins, and that's actually Collins.
So you're saying that potentially the radical change in Baroness Collins is not due to the fact that she was possessed, but that she was actually just doppelganged, basically?
Not Collins.
A switcheroo. Yes, that would certainly explain things.
And Collins begins to shout out, "Gozer, Master, give us your power. By this sacrifice of your great enemy, may all of your power be unleashed upon the enemies."
I immediately open fire.
Wait, no, before you do, as you go to reach for your gun, I would like to try something. Something quite outrageous. And if anything, it'll be worth a distraction.
Okay.
So,
Oh, dear.
as, like, she basically says this with her arms outstretched, I'd like to, because I have this kind of stealthy cloak on, step out and reveal myself as if I've kind of stepped out of the air
Okay.
to Baroness Collins.
I have my gun fully trained on her, by the way.
Cool.
You called?
You're going to need to make a hell of a check.
Are you trying to be Gozer?
Yeah, this is going to be a very hard, very hard, so minus 30.
Jesus. That's a 12 or lower. Here we go.
What
Watch
did you
me.
think was going to happen?
Of course, I know.
Fate point, add 10 to it.
Fate point, I can add 10 to it. It's 22. Oh my god, yes! Best use of a fate point ever to pose as a god.
It's not going to...
Look, I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm not asking for an actual, servants.
It'll at least confuse the shit out of her.
She's going to be confused.
So,
But... Master?
well, of course. You didn't think I would appear here as you might guess, a buttress, which is, as you can, and I can definitely tell, one of my favorites of shapes. I must slip among you as one of you.
Collins is now walking around the altar, walking away from the subject, walking up to you. She seems not 100% sure what's going on.
Right, of course.
Because obviously you're not a god.
Yep.
And then as she's walking around the altar, you see the person tied to the altar busts out of the ropes on the altar, picks up another chisel off the thing, and whacks Collins on the back of the head. That's what your lie was able to do. This person got off the table.
Got distracted. Now, can we see this person a little bit clearly as they bust out of the robes and whack Baroness Collins?
Give me my face back, you son of a bitch. And you see the person that was tied to the altar is a bruised and battered Baroness Collins. So now there's 2 Collinses, one with a hit to the back of the head and one bloody on an altar.
Oh my goodness, it was a switcheroo.
So immediately as that happens, and as I suspected, the real St. Collins reveals herself,
Yeah.
I emerge from the shadows and open fire, which is, I'm assuming, around like 20 or so meters, something like that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Because it's like, it was sort of like halfway in the temple we emerged from the wall.
Yeah, it's a big cathedral.
It's
I
a big
assume we're pretty
cathedral.
far away.
Yes.
So I'm going to open fire on her, and I guess before we roll initiative, I get to do a surprise attack?
Yeah, you get 1 surprise attack on this. Yeah.
Excellent.
Does she have minuses to dodge because she got hit in the back of the head with a chisel?
Not this thing.
Damn it.
Oh no, it's a thing.
You just had to say thing.
It couldn't have just been a pupil, a student who just, got a little overexcited.
Yes.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a fucking 11.
Jeez.
That's 3, baby.
Well, it's going to dodge. Well, it's going to try to dodge. It rolled a 32. It dodges.
All right, dodges the first one.
Okay.
2 more.
Okay.
So does it
Wait,
have the
does it
ability to dodge
have-
multiple times?
No, it's not that. No, you can't get that going on it. So
Remember,
you're-
this thing was maybe distracted because it thought its god took physical form for about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
All right, so
Can't believe that frickin' worked.
I love how I immediately saw the 20 and I was like, add 10 to it. Just, oh my god.
Both of you be honest. When I said I had an idea, did anyone think I was going to pretend to be a god?
Yes. 100%. That's what I thought you were going to do.
You see, I remember there was an old data slate, and it was if somebody asks if you're a god, you say yes.
She didn't ask.
Yeah, well, I was saying yes for her.
All right, so the first shot, she dodges handily. It dodges. Second shot, 9 pen 4.
Oh, no, there it is. They have 5 reactions per round.
Jesus,
So
what?
God.
that's what it was.
5 reactions
yeah,
per
5
round?
reactions per round. I knew that was in there.
Oh,
so it's going to
no.
try to dodge. I mean, it can only... That doesn't mean it could try to dodge a bullet more than once. But
I mean,
Yeah.
that
can
means
still-
if 5 people shoot at something, it can dodge or attempt to dodge all 5 of them.
it's almost like it's sort of a boss monster.
Oh boy.
It dodges your second bullet.
Third bullet.
It does not dodge your third bullet.
Oh god. Okay, 1 gets through.
What did you hit?
The right arm.
The right arm. Okay, and how much damage?
It's 9 pen 4.
You do a very little bit of damage to the arm. And as you hit the arm, a combination of the arm being hit and also being hit on the back of its head, its body starts to shift and change, and it seems to be like cycling through several faces. See if you can recognize what kind of alien this is.
I do have Forbidden Lore Xenos.
Exactly.
Would common lore about the underworld help me?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, I rolled a 23. That passes.
All right. You recognize this as a being that shouldn't exist. It was thought to have been eliminated. It's known as a lacrimole. It is classified as Xenos horrificus.
Oh, good.
And they thought that it was completely wiped out. It has the ability to assume the form of whatever it wants, and it tends to assume the form of like teams that are of somebody in the team that is hunting it, and then eliminates everyone in the team. But surely they were completely wiped out. But at least there's one left. It is incredibly fast, incredibly deadly, incredibly intelligent, and can shift its form. Also, the shifting of its form is terrifying. So,
Oh no.
Good. Good.
Fear 2 check.
Good.
I am jaded.
Oh yeah, you know what? You are completely fine because it is just a Xeno abomination. You are not afraid of it.
You're just like, yep, par for the course.
I mean, you know what it is. You're like, oh, it's that thing.
Access data logs. Shit. They were supposed to be wiped out.
Yeah.
As we described earlier, you've been through a lot. Blood rain. But I have not. I mean, I've, Shepard Tooms has had his fair share of assassinations, but none of these.
Are you going
scenarios.
into a junk temple and somebody's being afraid?
This feels so familiar for some reason. I don't know why I'm feeling so
Full circle. Full
unnerved about
circle.
this. So it's a willpower check, I believe.
Yes, because he is frightening, it's going to be at -10.
My willpower is not good. Here we go. Yes, I failed.
Cool. All right. If the character fails a fear test in a combat situation, you must immediately roll on the shock table, adding +10 for each degree of failure.
Oh no.
So roll...
I failed by 2 degrees.
Cool, so add 20 to a D100 roll.
Damn it. Here we go. Oh, that wasn't so bad. Add, what was it, 20?
Yeah.
I got a 62. That's not good.
No, it's fine. It could have been much worse. You are frozen by terror. You can take no reactions until you recover, which you can do on your turn.
Oh, good.
I mean, you'll have to do some stuff. After snapping out of it, you will be at -10 to everything you do for the rest of the encounter.
Oh, man. Fair enough. I'm scared. That totally makes sense. That thing is fucking horrifying. Real quick note for everybody in the room. I've heard about scenarios like this happening before. Try not to wrestle with or tackle this thing. I know that it'll stand up and potentially pretend to be one of us. I don't want to get in one of these scenarios.
All right, now it's time for everybody to roll initiative.
I got a 10. Not bad.
Okay.
I got a 4.
And the terrifying creature got a 1, probably.
They got a 9.
I go first.
And Collins has an 8. So, Tooms, while you do go first, you are still very scared. So you're going to need to snap out of the fear that you're in.
How do I snap out of the fear?
You just make a standard willpower test.
All right, here we go. 69. Haha.
Is that enough to pass?
No.
Okay, cool. So you're still freaked out.
So I'm still -10 to everything?
No, you just can't do anything.
I'm just stunned until I pass it?
What you read
The
is
character
that
is
you can't-
frozen by terror. He can take no actions until he recovers himself. After snapping out of it, he makes all tests at a -10 penalty for the rest of the encounter.
Oh, so shit. I'm literally frozen until I snap out of this.
Yes.
Until I roll 29 or below. Shit. All right, here we go.
Turns out things are scary.
So
40K!
So basically, Shepard, goes to, all right, I'll just pull my guns out, as if he's going to do that cool move where he drops his arms and the pistols slide out of his sleeves, but his arms aren't moving because he's just frozen in fear.
It's like when you're so scared that you try to make noise and your voice won't come out.
Yeah, I'm going to kill it now. Any second.
So, Daniel, what is happening with the other mutants?
So, they are scared of what's going on, but as soon as this combat begins, there's a cry that goes up and it sort of echoes through the entire building. That's part of what was so scary about what just happened. And a bunch of mutants in the village who were sort of holding back are now rushing towards the front of the temple to try to get in, and your friend mutants are fighting back against the mutants that are rushing into the temple to try to get in. So don't worry about them from the bad mutants or the good mutants, just worry about this.
Don't worry, I am just worrying about this.
So, you're not really a god then?
What gave it away? But maybe this is a secret god test where I challenge you.
The Xeno reaches into its robes and pulls out a power sword.
Oh, shit.
That doesn't look good.
I'll deal with you in a moment. And it whirls around to face Collins.
Take your time, don't worry.
No, you know what? No, it doesn't. It can't kill Collins with the power sword. It has to kill Collins in a ceremonial way with the chisel and the hammer.
It's like it
that
just
was
remembers.
The whole point.
It's like, all right, I can't do this.
I can't do that. That's the whole thing.
It's too bad it spent its whole action just looking back and
Yeah,
realizing
it totally
couldn't do
wasted
anything.
its time figuring out that it forgot that.
No, it's going to move impossibly fast towards you, Andrew.
Oh, good. Here we go.
Take your time.
At least I'm at full health.
For this one moment.
He's going to miss horribly, or he's going to only swing once and hit only once, and I'm going to dodge it miraculously.
That's exactly how it's going to go.
Called shot.
I'm going to be fast. Stab,
he
stab,
said
stab.
5 reactions, and I was just like, oh my fucking god.
Okay, no, it's just going to charge at you. It's going to charge at you.
Okay.
It can't use it to call upon the power of Gozer. That's a half action, and then it's a whole other thing. So it's just going to charge at you.
Oh, no.
That's good that that's a thing.
Oh, I thought this thing was just masquerading as a chaos patron. This thing actually could do chaos magic. That's terrible.
All right. That's an 89.
Yes.
So that's not. It's got very good weapon skill, but not. Oh wait, it gets a bonus when it charges, doesn't it? Yes, it does actually hit you because
With an 89 roll?
it gets plus 20 to its weapon skill.
Jesus, what the hell?
Well, its weapon skill is 70. So
Turns out just being human and nothing else is not the greatest thing in 40K.
Holy shit.
look, it's a Xenos Horrificus. This is the thing that.
It's like fighting a Broodlord. This is really bad.
Oh, boy.
No, Broodlord's probably worse.
Yeah, much worse.
Broodlord is much worse.
It's way worse.
Much
This
worse.
is like fighting a Super Gene Stealer.
Cool. Very exciting for all of us.
Maybe just a normal gene stealer. Its Horrificus rating is more to the fact that it can infiltrate
It's
things.
probably more like a regular Gene Stealer.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pathetically.
I like that you would like my understanding is like this is your own internal monologue. Like as this thing's charging up, it's probably Super Gene Stealer.
You're probably going to want to dodge, is all I'm going to say.
Yes.
God, this thing hits when it rolls an 89.
Thank God I upgraded this.
Well, it was
skill.
charging, so it got a bonus.
Yeah, I fucking dodge.
All right.
You're on.
The sword goes down, and it just shatters the pew, that the junk pew, just sort of rips it apart with a single slash.
It's like as my internal monologue was going, then it was like reaction enabled, and I was like reaction, and it just moves. My body just moved me out of the way. Maybe I should read the manual.
Your
on these
servo
parts.
arm hits the ground and moves you.
Remember, I have artificial skin at this point. Like I'm more machine than man, really. So, yeah.
Andrew, is that you?
Collins, we can catch up later. Shit's happening.
As long as the temple stands, Gozer could. Well, as long as I'm alive, I guess well, maybe the army could get here. I don't know. I don't know. Screw it. She's gonna rush at the creature because the creature can't kill her. Because then that violates the whole thing.
You know, she presented a lot of options. It's too bad we didn't bring all those explosives and just level this fucking place.
Don't we have explosives? No, we don't. Damn.
No, that was some Space Marines who had explosives.
That's true. I heard about that.
Yeah. She's gonna take a half move and then take cover behind one of the pews between it and her. That's all she could do on her turn. She just can't move fast enough to get to it.
Fair enough.
I think I just have to stand and fight this thing. I don't think I have a choice. Because if I move, it gets an attack with a power sword against me, and it can catch me wherever I go. I think I need to hit this fucker with the hammer. I think the hammer is the only way that we're going to be able to fight this thing.
Do you know how many humans I've killed?
Not enough, apparently. And I'm going to swing at it.
You're right.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I guess I have to try and concuss it. I don't know what the fuck else we're gonna do. I'm using my fate point to reroll the last fate point I have. That is just enough. I do hit.
All right, it's gonna try to dodge.
Please fail.
It dodges.
Well, I mean, that's the only action I can do. I'm just there, trying to fight it off.
Tooms.
All right, this is where I compose myself and...
Tooms, you're supposed to be an assassin!
Yes, I assassinate nobles and idiots. I don't assassinate super Xenos monsters. All right, I'm just gonna close my eyes. You're in a safe place. You've got your bow tie. You've got your guns. You've totally fucked that up. You rolled a 96. You are not okay. You are not okay.
Or you could. How many fate points do you have?
I have one left.
Oh yeah, save that.
I want to save it.
The monster sort of raises its hands and says, Gozer, give aid to your servant. And the temple itself begins to shake. And you just hear a deep voice say,
Oh no.
Oh, hi, Andrew.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh shit, you weren't kidding. There really is a chaos god of architecture.
but he doesn't, this voice doesn't stick around long enough to be too scary.
Do I distract it long enough because it's me that the power doesn't happen?
No, but this thing takes a full action to, like, funnel Gozer energy into it as it starts twitching a little bit. Like, it already was sort of twitching because its body is, I didn't really describe it that well. It's a humanoid looking thing, but its body is constantly shifting. So actually it seems to be like changing faces constantly, and like its arms are constantly changing to look like different arms, different legs. Like, it's a constantly fluctuating creature now that it's like in combat. Actually, like, when you tried to attack it, it looked like you hit it, but it sort of warped its body to the side so that, like, its body wasn't there anymore.
So it's almost like a living, like, as if like a wave, like waves constantly changing over its body.
Yes, but the waves are faces and other, like,
Gross.
other people that it is assumed the form of over the years.
I don't know if anybody else is feeling this, but I think if we're gonna do something, we've got to do it pretty quickly, and I'll be there in just a moment.
Collins runs over to you two and says, "Look, I don't know who you are."
My name is Shepard Tooms, consulting assassin.
Shepard Tooms. Shepard, you can do this. I've survived. You can survive too. I believe in you. You are snapped out of your fear. You're still at -10 to everything that you do for the rest of the fight, but you are snapped out of your terror. But that took Collins' whole turn to do that, though.
Oh boy, you know what? I'm feeling better. Not terribly better, but better than I was before. Okay, let's do this thing.
So me now, right?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to try and hit it once again and hope that shocking is the way to go. I mean, yeah, I super hit it. I rolled a 32.
That doesn't seem to be our challenge at this time.
No, it doesn't. It needs to fail a dodge, which I'm sure it's like...
It failed it by 1 point.
Oh! By the power of Grayskull! Oh my god. Holy shit. All right, damage time. That was terrible. Why didn't you roll better damage? 13 energy damage with 8 pen.
Okay.
And...
So what part of the body?
Is it 23? So it's the left arm.
Okay.
The opposite arm now.
Okay.
And you have to test for concussive, my friend.
It's fine. It rolled a 14.
Shit.
Well, that was a good try.
If it had failed really badly... See, here's the thing, though, is that the reason that concussive is so good is that for every degree that you fail, it adds a round of stunned.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, well, it didn't fail by any degrees.
Yeah, well, shut up.
But if it had, imagine. Can you?
Well, I think it's back to Tooms, right?
Yes, it is.
Tooms, do something.
So I have a crafty plan. You see, I always keep a dose of some Obscura on my person, because, you know, to unwind and things like that. Anyways, here we go! And basically Tooms pulls out a syringe, because he keeps it on him for his own spare time. And Obscura is basically like grim dark heroin, essentially. And
way more hallucinogenic.
Way more
though.
hallucinogenic.
Heroin doesn't make you hallucinate.
That's
No,
true.
no, it's LSD on steroids.
And basically he's going to run up and try to jab this into the creature and inject it with a shot of Obscura.
Okay. I will give you plus 20 to hit with that because you're not really trying to do damage. You're just trying to get it into the...
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yes! 57! I hit him. I needed a 58 or lower. So
Well,
does he
it's gonna-
dodge?
Yeah, of course he's going to
What?
try to...
No.
Are you kidding?
Yes! Sweet!
What did you roll?
A 99.
Oh my god,
It was
I
meant-
get it in the eyeball.
Daniel, it was meant to be.
Well, now it has to roll to... this is like a hallucinogenic
Yep,
grenade
now it's
just
going to
went
take
off on
a
him.
toughness test.
Minus 20.
Minus 20. All this,
Put it into a drug stupor?
all this goofy bullshit we always do.
Okay, so he fails his toughness check.
Yes!
So he's now going to hallucinate.
Yeah, roll that d10. I'll tell you what it does.
Oh, you got the table pulled up?
I got the
Okay.
table.
All right, he rolled a 1.
Oh, baby! Bugs, 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 bugs! Exclamation point. The character drops to the floor, flailing and screaming as it tries to claw off imaginary insects, devouring its skin and flesh. The character gains prone and stunned conditions.
All right, so that'll last for 1 round.
Woohoo! You know what makes it pretty open to? Some attacks that it can't dodge.
Some hammering? by chance?
Oh, yeah.
Stop. Hammer time.
You win. 10
Obscura!
10 points to Daniel.
All right. So it is now rolling around on the ground, believing that it is covered in. Well, it's probably not actually bugs that it thinks it's covered in. It's unclear what it thinks it's covered in. But let me tell you, if you think this was scary before when it was in command of the combat, now that it's hallucinating, like its body is now not just showing like
freaking out.
Yeah, it's just like. Like its body is now just literally covered in faces. Like it's not just arms in the arm spot. It's now just faces all over its body. It's you just like see faces screaming across its entire being.
That's right. Now who's scared, motherfucker?
Do you have any weapons?
Yes,
that I could
of course
use?
I do.
No, that I could use.
Yes, here you go. And basically off of like a compartment that's kind of like patched over on his back, he pulls a piece of cloth back and tosses his long lass to Collins.
This'll do. So Collins is going to shoot at this thing with your long lass.
Yeah.
Oh, it's prone though, so that actually makes it a lot harder to hit in.
But remember, the long lass gives it inaccurate, so it's a +10
Okay.
to shoot. So I don't know if that... I think that balances out with the prone.
Yeah.
Prone
yeah.
is a -10 if you're not at point blank range.
Yeah.
Also, it has felling, so if this thing has unnatural toughness, it's a -4 to that.
That would be good. Okay, it's going to use its. Collins is going to try to make the shot. That's a 73. That Collins misses. That's just.
Sure,
that's
she doesn't have a ballistic skill of a space marine,
Or
No.
fate points, maybe?
No, sorry. But now she's got a gun and she could use it. You know, in
I
another
like
shot.
it.
Yeah,
All right, well, I believe it's my turn now.
it is.
Well, I think it's time to bring the hammer down.
Oh yeah,
Um,
don't miss.
Well, he can't dodge at least.
That's true. So what does prone do?
Prone gives you a +10 to hit it with a weapon skill, but -10 to hit it with ballistics, unless you're at a point blank range.
And then stuns also.
It's just +20 to any attack against it.
Oh, awesome. So I have a +30 and then standard attack, so +40 to hit this thing.
Yeah, that seems like it could work. It's rolling around on the ground.
Ironically, an 83 hits.
Wow. You were like overconfident, like, I've got this. Oh, wait, almost missed.
Only because of that extra +10, because I have a 49 weapon skill.
Oh my god.
Which means it just hit, but it does hit and it can't dodge.
Yes, that is true.
Damage! Something we haven't done to this thing in a while.
You've done 9 damage to it.
Fair.
It wasn't exploding, but it was very good. 25 damage, pen 8.
Ooh, that sounds good.
And that is to the body.
Okay, cool.
All right, make a -10 toughness test, please.
It passes.
Damn it.
So close.
Just need one of those times.
Just perpetual stun
I need
state.
just one of those times for it to roll like an 80 plus, and then to just be stunned for a bunch of rounds.
Tooms, what do you do?
So I'm right next to this thing.
Yes.
Now I draw my 2 hotshot last pistols, and I'm gonna open up into this motherfucker.
Okay.
So basically, I also get a +30. No, not weapon skill, so just a +20.
You get a +20. You technically get a -10 because it's ranged weapons.
but
Not at point
not
blank
at point
range.
blank range.
Oh, plus point blank range, you get a +30. So you get +50 -10. So you get a +40.
All right, so basically about a +40, +45 because my custom grips. Here we go, unloading 2 shots into the thing's brain. Calling shot on its head. Oh yeah, I am. Gonna pay it back.
I just realized I can call
Oh
shot.
shit, that's a 7.
I should have called shot with a hammer.
I should have done semi-auto.
It's equally armored everywhere.
Okay.
It's like, because it's not actually wearing armor.
It's
just.
for the spiritual reason.
I'll do semi-auto for the second shot. I didn't do it for the first one. I forgot that you could do semi-auto for these guns. But I definitely hit with a 7.
Yeah. Well, it can't dodge.
And semi-auto for the second shot. Of course, that's the one that just barely gets it. Of course.
+40.
No, +40. No, that's actually... No, that is. That'll
Semi-auto
get it.
is every 2 degrees of success.
Oh, then... Oh, wait, is it +45?
So it's counted by 20. So you have a 76. So you have a
so-
46.
No. So
What's
yeah.
your ballistic skill?
48.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Or
but plus
36.
5, because custom grips.
36 or 31.
Oh, no.
No, it's
No.
still not 20 above.
So still only 2 shots, which is fine. That's what I get for not remembering it on the first one where I roll a 7 and then roll a 76 in the second shot. Son of a bitch! So, all right, so the first shot is 8 plus 4, so 12 energy damage, pen 7 to the head. And the second shot is, oh my god, a 9. God, those are good rolls. 13 energy damage to the head, pen 7. So it's a 12 and a 13, pen 7, just 2 shots.
Bat in the pound, would you go?
Just right in the dome, right in that swirling, screaming face dome.
That's also its body now, apparently.
And it's tripping balls.
A blast of energy envelops the target's head, burning
Yes!
its face and hair, crisping its skin, and causing it to scream like a stuck rocks. In addition to losing all the hair on its scalp and face, which it doesn't because it's...
All of the fingers and
Yeah.
faces it's screaming with.
He is blinded for...
Yes!
1 round, stunned for 1 round, and permanently reduces fellowship characteristic by 1.
My specialty!
Just messing up people's fellowship is your specialty. Just wrecking people's face. If you don't kill them, you just make them uglier.
I just scar them for life.
I mean, it's very, very, asshole bourgeoisie is what you're doing.
It's pretty dark.
In some dark...
Cool. Well, it's not. It doesn't think it's covered in bugs anymore, but it's blinded and stunned for a round because its head is on fire.
It's got other real problems now.
It just needed to hit once with its power sword, and it could dodge everything. But
Not when you're tripping balls, you can't.
yes, that is accurate.
Remember, kids, don't do drugs.
Drugs bad.
All right.
Okay.
So once you start doing critical damage, its body starts to break down a little bit. So it explodes toxin out of itself.
Oh no.
It's blast 5. So
Holy God.
This thing is horrible.
yeah. So all of you are going to get hit by this.
Going to try to dodge. Fuck yes. That's a 42.
I will also attempt to dodge since I'm also standing right on this thing.
So I do succeed.
And I do dodge at rolling a 39.
All right. Let's see if Collins dodges.
Thank God.
There's a 97.
Wait, is she close enough? I thought she was far away. We tossed her the gun and she was shooting with the long last.
She didn't actually get that far away.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
She was in a nearby pew.
Well, she moved more closer to you.
She is going to take 2d10 plus 5 toxic damage.
Oh my god. That thing is horrible.
Okay, so she takes 14 energy damage to the body. And
It's her toughness, and she's got robes.
and it's also toxic.
These are like special robes.
They are. They're toxic proof robes, is what I remember when I looked at
What
them.
I heard.
I was like, oh, those are toxic proof robes.
On the grapevine.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
They run into a lot of toxicity down here, and there's like, gotta wear those toxic proof
they
robes.
do. Are the rads everywhere?
The rad is everywhere.
Chemical waste.
I mean, we probably don't even need to ask, because it's probably not even gonna affect her.
Okay.
She's wearing tactical dreadnought armor under there, right?
She succeeds at resisting the toxic element, so she doesn't take
Sweet.
additional damage on top of it. But
But she explodes anyway.
Listen.
Her eyes exploding like superheated eggs.
Listen. It would be heartbreaking, but at the same time, it totally fuck his plans up. Its plans up. That thing's plans up.
Yes, but his plans are already fucked. He's blind. It is blind, and it is literally dying.
It makes faces. You're assuming it can't just make another face and no
That
longer
is
be
interesting.
blind.
How would that work? I've blinded all of its eyes.
You'd have to set it on fire. Gasoline.
It's a good idea.
the energy ripples all over the character, scorching their body with horrid third-degree burns. And it's not like heat burns, it's like acid burns that are just burning into her flesh.
Oh, shit.
The target suffers 4 degrees of fatigue and can only take half actions on their next turn. So she's at minus 40 to everything she does. So she's more
Out of
or
the fight.
less out of the fight.
Chances are we're going to be carrying her out of here, but
Chances are I'm going to be immediately healing her as soon as this fucking
as
thing
we
is
run
dead.
her out of here, because we gotta kill this son of a bitch first.
Collins is still going to try to shoot at it.
Nice.
Roll a 1.
Now that's a badass right there.
No, that's a 35. That's
All
a
right.
pretty good roll,
That's a
but
good roll.
not good enough.
Turns
Not a
out that
minus
makes it
40.
a 75.
Dude, I love the idea that like she just gets coated in this toxic acid and it still is like, I'm still gonna try to shoot this son of a bitch.
Yeah, but unfortunately, she's just so injured that the shot just goes wide. Oof. It actually strikes the stained glass window, and you see that on the other side of it is not the cave, but just like a glowing vortex of red energy.
Oh God.
Good.
All right, not thinking about that. Let's kill this son of a bitch.
So back to me, right?
Top of the initiative is... Oh, no, bottom of the initiative is you, Andrew.
Yep. Bringing the hammer down.
Bring it down.
Again, ironic that a 79 hits
That is
because
incredible.
of the bonuses.
He's probably dead.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's just a hammer.
He has 6 critical damage.
Where'd you hit him?
Oh, 'cause it's a 97.
Doesn't matter, it's all the same.
Okay.
It's smashing.
Oh, I mean,
his
it matters depending on what table I
Yeah,
look
hold
at.
on a second.
It's smashing his left leg.
Ooh, his weak point. He's like Achilles.
I've hit his left arm, his right arm. Now I'm going, limb to limb here.
Limb to limb. I'm just shooting face. Always face.
17 damage, pen 8.
Seems like a small amount. I'm sure he's gonna be fine.
I mean, he has a lot of toughness.
The hammer. I mean, the hammer is. If you don't remember, the hammer has a built-in +8 to whatever 2d10 damage I
Jesus.
roll.
+8 on top of 2d10. God.
It's energy because it's a thunder hammer
Because it's
or
a
whatever.
thunder- it's
Yeah,
a-
not thunder hammer.
It's a thunder maul.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
In a terrifying display of power,
Oh wow.
the leg emulates and thick fire consumes the target completely.
Hey, I set it on fire. It was the plan.
He
Yeah.
dies in a matter of agonizing seconds. His scorched corpse surrounded with smoke and flames.
You know, I bring up my wrist data sheet. You know, there was one. There are no more.
I think that was an excellent display of power, I must say. Well done, absolutely crushing that thing's leg and exploding it in fire.
I immediately run over to St. Collins and perform a first aid.
Okay.
Yeah, with 3 degrees of success. So, I don't know how much critical damage. No, how much critical damage does she have?
4 points of
No. So
4
then I
points.
just clear her critical damage.
Yeah.
So I stabilize her essentially.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
So
all
you
I'm
don't
able
clear
to
her
do.
critical?
No, I clear her critical and stabilize her. That's
Okay.
all I'm able to do.
She's
But
at 0 wound points,
I
but
can't
does
get
not have
any
any
wounds
critical
back.
damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I assume you spray some ointment and stuff on her?
Oh yeah, I mean bandage her and ointment her immediately. Like clear off all the major areas.
You are an answer to prayers.
Okay. We need to go.
And there is a voice coming from the
Right.
there is no, not from the ceiling.
Okay.
There is surviving in the middle of like the flames and whatever is a communicator, a short range communicator on this creature that died. It had a name. You'll never know its name. It was going to try to talk to you about it. It might introduce itself, but the fight happened. It had a good
You mean-
gothic sort of name.
Oh,
but-
you mean that something introduced itself as a god to it and totally confused the shit out of it?
Yes, it did. Yes.
Now, maybe on the back of this communique in tape, it markered its name on it to make sure that it was like, oh, this is mine.
I mean, its name was Quellis. Like that.
mean,
that was its name. But
It wasn't tape. It was like when you get a phone and it's like engraved on it. Then
Yeah.
you got a custom communicator with his name on it.
there is a voice on the other end of the line. It is distorted. There seems to be like a specific like distortion, so you cannot make out who is on the other end of the line. It says,
Where is the attack? You said that you would be able to stop the forces. What is happening?
Good.
Yes, that is quite concerning. Clearly, this agent was not only working with Goza, but potentially some other person. We should investigate this further, maybe grab the communique, and we need to get out of here, at least right now.
Yeah, so Tooms grabs the communicator.
Okay.
I lift up Collins.
Okay.
And
I feel like I definitely got the better deal here, but I won't complain.
And you run back to the tunnels?
and we go back to the tunnels to get the hell out of here.
All right. And you hear the approaching sound of the scourges that are making their way into the village.
Okay.
All right, we need to be as quiet as possible getting out of here. I think it would be best to shut down Daniel. We don't want them tracing any sort of signal from us.
That's true.
Or from any sound that he might make.
I'll shut down any non-essential systems.
All right, sorry, Daniel, putting you to sleep.
All right.
Thanks for listening to this grimdark tale. St. Collins may be rescued, but clearly someone or something was working alongside that Xenos threat. Who can our boys trust? Tune in next month to find out. Special thanks to Daniel Fernandez for inserting his soul into a Servo skull and helping these two as Game Master. I'll be chronicling new episodes of Dark Heresy every first and second Wednesday of the month. And if you want to get your wargaming fix, tune in to Roll to Seas every final Wednesday. If you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts, head over to partialarc.com. There you might enjoy listening to Friday Night Quests, a podcast much like Dark Heresy, but set in the fantastical and equally hilarious world of Dungeons & Dragons. You may even recognize some familiar voices, such as Daniel Fernandez or even Jay Jones, along with many more ridiculous and wonderful characters. Definitely check it out. Also, you can email these morons any questions at rolltoseas@gmail.com. Of course, you can always follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to leave a rating and review on iTunes. You could win a tour of our local garbage cathedral. It smells terrible. Goodbye.